Shalom, giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Bashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who do rule and teach well. Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Barakatham, peace and blessings, salutations as always to the hopefully elect. So, early morning lesson, just want to touch on this right here. I came across on TikTok. You got women out here that's afraid, scared to even be shopping in the store. We're gonna play the video, but this speaks to the danger of the times that we in. In Second Timothy, it tells you that in the last days perilous times shall come. Peril goes into danger. So we know that we're in a dangerous society. Things are getting tight, spirits are jumping on people, and when it all goes down, like when the ish really hit the fan, the scriptures tell you it's not going to be no mercy out here. People are going to do what they have to do to survive, and you already seeing that. Given that DJ Trump is destroying the economy, jobs are being lost, people are losing hope, and as the old saying goes, when people feel like they got nothing to lose, they lose it. So they're going to crash out on their fellow American, their fellow Babylonian. And they're not going to give a damn if you are a woman, a child, elderly. They're not going to care about none of that. If they see that you got something that they want that's valuable, because the days we coming into, a dollar bill is not going to hold you no value. It's not going to do you no good. See, what's really the real money that we going that's going to be at the forefront in this time is going to be food, right? It's going to be resources. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be the real wealth, all right? Because we're coming into a time where right now you can buy as much as you can afford. But the situation we're coming into in these last days with the fall of America is that it's not going to matter how much you can afford to buy. The product is simply not going to be there. Global supply chains are breaking down. Trump is imposing tariffs on all these different nations. So at some point, ships are going to stop coming to America. All right, Mexico and Canada, there's tariffs already on those nations, which we get a lot of our produce from Canada and Mexico. All right, so what you think gonna happen when these supply chains break down and these, shipping vessels stop coming over to America? We're also in a time of war, so trade is gonna break down anyway. Well, guess what? If you here in America, you're gonna be paying way more than what you already pay for your basic essentials. You see what I'm saying? It is gonna come a point where people gonna get so desperate that they're not gonna regard the law, they're not gonna regard the police or any type of authority figure. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna take matters into their own hands to survive. All right, it's gonna be looting. It's gonna be a lot of people getting put to death. Cannibalism is coming back as well. So this is why we continue to warn, because you have to be aware of the situation out here, and people are already feeling it, man. So these prophecies, the Lord is turning up on these prophecies, man. So we'll go ahead and play this video so you can see that we're still in a time of a relatively normal society. You know what I'm saying? Things are changing by the day, but right now it's relatively normal. Very soon they're going to be having armed guards in front of these grocery stores because it's about to get that dangerous.
Walmart, and I don't even know how I feel right now. Me at the Walmart. Something fucking scary just happened to me at the Walmart, and I don't even know how I feel right now. Like, I'm literally shaking. I'm hiding in the aisles because it's two people that approached me on some weird shit. Yeah, be careful out here. Let me show you my car before I even explain the story. Let me show you the car. This is my car. Dog food for my dog. 2 cases of water. It's not even a lot of food. Does this look like a lot of food?
And even worse about this, you see she got the dog food inside the cart. Showing you that she ain't got no man. All right, her dog is her man, so she ain't even got no head of protection anyway. So this is why for you women out here, these modern women, the the woman that claim they don't need no man and they can do bad all by themselves and this and that. You see the situation that they in. She's in the store just shopping, and she don't even feel safe in the store. You see that. Then when she go home, the only protection that she got is a dog, but she don't got no guidance from a man though. You see, so this is why a lot of women in these last days are gonna be down and out, because they don't have a head, they don't have a covering. That's why the scriptures say that a man shall be as a hiding place from the wind in the time of destruction. All right. Also, this is how you know that Isaiah 4:1 is getting ready to, come through in a big way, because these women are starting to get desperate. Things are changing. Society ain't what it used to be. They're not comfortable. So when women are not comfortable, they go back to what they know, which is being up under a man.
This is not a lot of food, right? So I am picking up stuff to put in my car so I could hurry up and go home. And this guy is like,
Trying to get that way.
okay, I thought it was him. This guy is like, must be nice. So I'm like, what you mean? He was like, look at your car. You must be blessed. I am blessed, but the car is not, let me show y'all again. The car is not even that full. Like, what? Then I'm like, okay. So I continue to go to the next aisle, pick up some things. And then this lady was like, my gosh, your car is so full. What?
And that tells you how bad of a financial situation that people are in. The fact that she don't even have that much in her cart, and what she got in there probably already ran about $100 anyway. You know what I'm saying? Because the price of groceries is outrageous as it is. But point is, she don't have that much in her cart. And people are looking like, oh yeah? Look like you got some money. You blessed. You know what I'm saying? Like, so look, man, the issue's about to hit the fan. People are already peeping what you got. And this is why in this time it's kind of wise now to, if possible, do your shopping at night. You know what I'm saying? Because in the daytime, look, you have to understand the climate that we in. This ain't 2018, 2019 where everybody got it and don't nobody care what you bring inside your house. You know what I'm saying? We in a time now, you got to be circumspect and always be aware of what's going on. All right? Because you may think, oh yeah, you bringing groceries up in your house. People see that, oh, well, if he bringing, 10 plus bags of groceries inside the house, then yeah, he got it. So when push come to shove, you going to be a target, man. That's why, in these times you got to move a little different. You know what I'm saying? You can't be moving like it's, pre, 2020. You know what I'm saying? You got to be wise and circumspect, prudent in these times. You know what I'm saying? And also have Yahweh Bashim El Shai with you. But yeah, this is where we at. People looking at a small cart of groceries and they already plotting in their mind. You see what I'm saying? And the only reason why, because look, we coming into a scenario where if they see a woman out there, she ain't got no man, hey look, she gonna be free game. They gonna run up on you, they gonna overpower you, strong arm you, take what you got. And they'll wait till you leave the store too. You know what I'm saying? They'll peep what you got, they'll watch you inside the store, and they'll wait for you to come out and then rob you. You know what I'm saying? These are times we're coming into. It's not gonna be safe to just be a woman out here in these times, man. You see what I'm saying? Now if she had a man, then they would think twice. But since she by herself, she's free game. All right? So these women gonna have to learn the hard way, man. All right? Because that dog that she got up in the house, that dog can't save you. All right? When it's a pack of YNs trying to break up in your house and take your food.
Are we in like some type of, I know we're going through a recession, but my heart is racing. Can y'all see it? Do y'all see? That was so scary. Y'all, like I said, be careful. They watching your carts. People are going to outside of supermarkets and they're literally watching your carts to see what you put in your carts. Yeah, I gotta get out of here. People are literally watching your cart to see what the fuck you put in your cart. What, that's supposed to make me feel like I'm rich or something? I'm not rich. I'm fabulous, but I'm not rich. Y'all be careful. Like, they watching everything. People are plotting. It's a recession. It's a lot of bad things going on. People are watching to see what you shopping, what you doing, how much money you spending. That's scary. Something.
Peep the comments. Yeah, be careful. People are beginning to get desperate and they are pocket watching. The world is full of monitoring spirits. Women are being targeted for, yeah, women are being targeted, and that's what I'm saying. You know, what do you think is going to happen when all hell breaks loose and the supply chain breaks down and food is scarce and expensive? The people that can afford, to buy, you're going to be a target based on the fact that everybody else don't have it. Just look at what happened when there was a gas shortage like a few years ago. Like, people was going around siphoning gas out of people's tanks because they couldn't afford the gas. This is back when maybe 2022, 23, something like that. When, gas in certain parts of the country, I know California, gas was like $10 a gallon. And you seen the reports coming out that, people was siphoning gas out of people's tanks because they couldn't afford gas. So if they'll do that when gas is available but expensive, how much more food? Something that people actually need. You know what I'm saying? Something that people actually, desire to have, man. So yeah, for you women, it ain't gonna be good. The microaggression has been weird lately. They saw the ads and said you had to be rich. Yeah, we going through a recession, but they need to have the same energy for the person in the White House who's responsible for the economic downturn instead of punching down on innocent women. And see, we already at that point to where people are ready to rise up against the government. You know what I'm saying? We already at that point to where people are ready to crash out. But they can't get to Trump. You know what I'm saying? They can't get to these politicians like that. Now, some of them are going to get got, even though a lot of them are, leaving the country right now, selling their homes and stuff like that because they've been given the drop on what's about to go down, But they're not going to be able to get to them higher officials like that. But who they going to be able to get to? These single women, these single mothers, you know what I'm saying? That's really who they're going to target, man. All right? The modern woman. All right? That's why the scriptures say to rise up, you women that are at ease. Gird sackcloth upon your loins, man, because, great morning is coming for these women out here. But let's get some scriptures. 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, and we can jump down to verse 20. Matter of fact, let's start at verse 17. And it happened that when I heard it, and I stood upon my feet and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them, what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness. And when the affliction of Sion shall be fulfilled, and when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens, the books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see altogether. Now pay attention here. Let's jump down to verse 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. You see, so the scriptures already foretell of a time in the last days where the sown places, the farms, the grocery stores, your local bodega, you know what I'm saying? All these places where you see food and you see provisions like the malls and everything like that, everything's about to dry up because, again, the supply chains are breaking down overseas. They're not telling you that, but because of these wars and tariffs and stuff like that, trade is not going like how it used to. Then on top of that, the price of everything is getting more expensive because of tariffs and these wars as well. All right, so it's, the farmers are being put out of business. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy weather affecting crops and things like that. So the judgment of the Lord is upon the earth. This is the Lord drawing nigh to the earth, man. Drawing nigh, with his various judgments, you know. So that's why I say this: the sown places shall appear unsown. Is it, you know, the time is coming where you're not gonna see no food, you know. First, it's gonna be, you'll see the food, but it's gonna be a lot more expensive than the normal. All right, then it's gonna get to the point where, like I said before, it's not gonna matter how much you can afford. The supply is not gonna be there. So that's gonna create what? A competition for resources. And anytime there's a competition for resources, whenever there's a famine or there's a dearth of food, what happens? People lose their mind. People go crazy because they did not prepare themselves or take heed to the warning of what was to come. And people been warning about supply chain breakdowns and stock up on food and get this and that. Right now in Europe, the European leaders, they're informing the people to, hey, have, what is it, like 17 weeks worth of food or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Because war is imminent. So at least they're warning their people over there, because they know the supply chains are going to break down at some point. So people over in Europe, they're preparing for the inevitable. Meanwhile, over here in America, everybody's relaxed. Everybody's settled on their leaves. They don't understand what's going on. But they're going to understand what's going on real soon. All right? The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall be suddenly afraid. And that Eve you saw in the video, she told you, like, I'm scared. I'm afraid, you know? And this is when you can still call police. You know what I'm saying? This is when society is still relatively intact. How much more afraid they gonna be when it's no lights? You know what I'm saying? When there is no police to come save you. You know what I'm saying? When you don't have a man to be by your side. That's gonna be an even scarier situation. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people just gonna give up the ghost off the strength that they're gonna be so shook from fear, you know. And that's the judgment of Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua for their wickedness. Verse 24: at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. Why are friends gonna fight one against another like enemies? Look, you already seeing it though. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of weird energy out here, a lot of weird activity. You know what I'm saying? People just acting strange, man. And that's because spirits are jumping on people. People feel like they don't have nothing left. You know, you can't trust nobody. You know what I'm saying? Hey, the scriptures tell you that Matthew 24, you know, that because iniquity shall abound, and we can get that, because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. You know what I'm saying? So your homie, you know what I'm saying, when push come to shove and, you know, he got, you know, children, and, you know, he got his situation, guess what? In that time, it's going to be better you than him. All right? He going to do you in so he can eat. All right? The scripture telling you right here. You know, friends shall fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountain shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. You see that? So, you know, the Lord is bringing that, judgment upon the earth. You know, the Lord is bringing that dearth, that famine, that lack. All right. This is why the mirth of the land is gone. You know, we can go to 2 Ezra 15. People really don't hope in nothing no more. You know what I'm saying? Because all of what they hoped in this world, the Lord is taking it away. You know what I'm saying? This is why, we're supposed to, when you come into this truth, you're supposed to remove your spirit from this world. Because, you know what I'm saying, we understand that all these things, you know, are going to eventually pass away. All right. But that the works that we put forth for Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua is going to last forever, man. That's going to translate into the kingdom. You know what I'm saying? What's of this world is going to die with this world. You know, so you got to understand that. Yeah, check this out. 2 Ezra 15. Well, matter of fact, this kind of goes into 2 Ezra 6 and 24. 2 Ezra 15 and 12. Egypt shall mourn, which this is Egypt, okay, America, Babylon the Great. This is modern day spiritual Egypt. And the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that Yahweh Ba'asham Yahushua shall bring upon it. 13. They that till the ground, which are the farmers. All right, this is not only in America, but worldwide, the farmers are being affected because of, as we'll read, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seeds and shall fail through the blasting in hell, and with the fearful constellation. So there's wild weather, all these tornadoes and floods and droughts. All these things affect crops. All right, if you have a irregular weather pattern, then it affects the growing of food. All right. So the Lord is not only breaking down supply chains, he's also breaking down the farmers, they that till the ground, that produce the food. So if the farmers are gone, also there's reports out that bees are pretty much going extinct. You know what I'm saying? So especially in these spring months, bees are responsible for pollinating, you know what I'm saying, making sure that, crops, bloom and stuff like that. Well, if the bees are gone, then, hey, they already telling you that it's going to be massive supply chain issues behind food because the pollinators are not there. You know what I'm saying? Shit, I mean, you barely see butterflies anymore. Like when I was a kid, I seen butterflies all the time. Now, I can't remember the last time that I seen a butterfly. You know, the bees are gone, the butterflies are gone. You know what I'm saying? So what do you think is going to happen to the food? You see, but the Lord is preparing all these things to come forth. All right, because this is the end of this wicked kingdom. It says 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein. Woe goes into destruction. Verse 15, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. We see these things happen. We see in the uprisings, the talks of civil war, rebellions, people talking against their higher officials. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. See? So, hey, people at the point, they're going to do what they want to do because nobody else is doing nothing about it, So they're going to take matters into their own hands. 17, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. It's going to be lockdowns. It's going to be checkpoints. It's going to be quarantine zones, If you ain't got the MOTB, the mark, you ain't going to be able to travel to and fro. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to get on a plane or drive out of state. Everything going to be confined to a 15-minute city, and you're going to have, you're going to need permission to leave. All right, this is the world in which we coming into that the men of the Lord are warning of. All right, verse 18, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. You see that? So this is coming on when you read 2nd Esdras 8 and 50. Many great miseries shall befall those that dwell in the latter time, because they have walked in great pride. So this judgment is coming because of people's pride, man. All right, and because in America people have had an abundance for so long, they've become proud. You know what I'm saying? They forgot about the Lord. They've disregarded the commandments. They've blasphemed the Lord. So hey, the scriptures say that pride goeth before destruction. All right, so just before these people about to be destroyed, all right, their pride, their hubris will be at an all-time high. All right, and that's the main indicator that judgment is coming, where people get proud as hell and they start to blaspheme Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Right, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. All right, so the scriptures tell you that men shall be afraid. How much more these women? All right, and women are scared now. And like I said, this society is still functioning, but if they're scared now, there's not even words to describe the type of state they're going to be in when you really seeing bodies drop out here, when you really seeing people put each other to death over the last, box of eggs. You know what I'm saying? Like the last carton of eggs, man. This is the time we coming into. The last case of water, people going to be fighting over it. Like if you remember, like back in the day when people used to go to GameStop for like a midnight police, it was people literally fighting to get in the door, try and get that game, because it was only a certain amount that they had, and it was like first come, first serve. So, what I'm saying, people had to do what they had to do to get the game. But that's just folly, though. All right, this is coming down to food and resources, where people will really put you to death over a steak. They're gonna really put you to death over a pack of chicken, a pack of fish, some canned tuna. All right, and as we'll read down, it says 19, a man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword. The modern day sword is the gun, and spoil their goods, which means they're going to come in, they're going to take what you have. All right, they're going to spoil you. They're going to rob you, basically. Because of what? the lack of bread, and for great tribulation. So we already seeing this, all right? We already seeing it, and no doubt, there's already cases to where, what I'm saying, you hear about like follow home robberies where somebody might come from the grocery store and they get followed home and they get robbed and stuff like that. You got stories of that too. So we're in a time where you got to be really circumspect. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be trusting these worldly ass people, man. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't have good intentions at the end of the day, and they don't have a fear of the Lord. So when push comes to shove, they're going to do what they got to do. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to care. As it says, they shall have no pity, no mercy. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be dog eat dog out here because of lack of bread, famine, and for great tribulation. All right? Then you can go to... I said we'll get the love of many shall wax cold. Matthew 24. And verse 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold, but he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Yeah. So because iniquity, because, sin upon sin, let's get that another translation in the NLT, because iniquity, sin upon sin, has greatly increased in this time. It really ain't no love, right? Check this out. Matthew 24:12 in the NLT. Sin will be rampant everywhere, which is what we see. Sin in America, Babylon the Great, righteousness is as wickedness, and wickedness is as righteousness, man. You know what I'm saying? And the scriptures say, woe to them that call good evil and evil good. All right, so when you have a society to where, evil is now called good, well, guess what? The love of many is going to wax cold because there's no fear of the Lord. There's no honor. There's really no love out here. All right, and this is why everybody is just acting weird, man. You know what I'm saying? People got spirits on them, Sin will be rampant everywhere, and the love of many will grow cold. Let's get that in the ESV. Matthew 24:12 in the ESV. And because lawlessness will be increased, the love of many will grow cold. All right. So that, this is where we at. We're in a very evil time, a time where, the earth is pretty much void of the fear of Yahweh Basham Shah. And if, when there is no fear of the Lord, people will pretty much do anything. You know what I'm saying? There's no holds barred. There's no type of standard, no type of morality. People going to do what they feel is best for them, even if that means putting somebody to death or doing something unethical that would otherwise violate the Most High's laws. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about that, So this is Isaiah 9 and verse 18. Isaiah 9:18, for wickedness burneth as the fire. It shall devour the briars and thorns, and shall kindle in the thickets of the forest, and they shall mount up like the lifting up of smoke. Through the wrath of the Lord of hosts is the land darkened, and the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. You see that? It says no man shall spare his brother. So again, it's going to be a dog eat dog world. People going to have no pity, no type of mercy, no type of thought or compassion. All that's going to be gone. And again, you already seen it in these people to where these people have a very cold spirit. People are just rude. You know what I'm saying? People look you in the eye and won't even acknowledge you. You know what I'm saying? People just walk by you like you don't exist. You know what I'm saying? Or just give you a mean mug. That's the time that we're in, man. We're in a very cold, wicked society. And the people shall be as the fuel of the fire. No man shall spare his brother. Verse 20, and he shall snatch on the right hand and be hungry, and he shall eat on the left hand, and they shall not be satisfied. They shall eat every man the flesh of his own arm. So that's another thing that's coming back in a big way. Cannibalism. You see what I'm saying? Cannibalism is coming back because when the food runs out and there's nothing left to spoil, people gonna go to back to eating each other, man. This is what the scripture is saying. Verse 9 and 20 in the NLT. They will attack their neighbor on the right, but will still be hungry. They will devour their neighbor on the left, but will not be satisfied. In the end, they will even eat their own children. Okay, which that is going to happen, but in the KJV, it really, that's what is going into cannibalism. People even eating their own self, eating their own flesh. All right, let's see it in the ESV, Isaiah 9:20 in the ESV. They slice meat on the right, but they are hungry. They devour on the left, but they are not satisfied. Each devours the flesh of his own arm. Yeah, so people even going to cannibalize their own selves in these last days, and other people. All right, and best believe in this time you're going to be having gangs. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're going to be having your gangs going around just looking for people to eat. Like whoever got the most meat on them, they're going to figure, oh yeah, well he eating good. So either he must have some food, or, he just, or he just look good to eat. That's the type of mindset that people are going to be in. Yeah, it sounds bugged out, but you got to understand that these people are bugged out. They're going to be having all type of spirits on them in that time, to where they're not going to think rationally, all right? Because when you hungry, like that Snickers commercial, you're not yourself when you're hungry, right? You know what I'm saying? Hey, look, people going to turn to beasts, wild beasts out here, savage, They're not going to, you're not going to be able to reason with these people, all right? They're going to see something that they like, and they're going to go for it. And it's going to be nobody to stop them. See, this is why you're going to need Yahweh Shemel Shai in these times, because, there's no carnal means that you can take to escape the evil that's coming on this earth. You're going to have the Lord by you, man, because the Lord is the one that's bringing this judgment. So he's the one that can give you that tawah, that mark of exemption from what is going to ultimately befall these wicked people out here, man. See, you want to be in the Lord's good graces, which is why, all right, as the scriptures say, to repent in the days of your youth, to seek the Lord in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. Let's get that. While the evil days come not. Ecclesiastes 12:1. Remember now thy Creator in the days of thy youth, while the evil days come not. For the years, nor the years draw nigh, when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Right? So you're supposed to remember the Lord now. Okay, seeing what's going on, just seeing how the world is going, you should know that we at the end, and the things are about to spiral out of control in a very short period of time. All right, because hey, look, from day to day, we don't know what's gonna happen. All right, you could wake up tomorrow when they announce hyperinflation, or something got blown up, to now where we got to change this and that, and supply chain breaks down overnight. We just don't know. That's why we got to watch and be circumspect for all of what's going on. Stay glued into prophecy. But yeah, these are the days where you gotta really tap into Yahweh Shemel Shai. You know what I'm saying? And for her, like, she's a good looking Eve, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if that's her real hair or not, probably not. But she not a bad looking chick, you know what I'm saying? So the fact she ain't got no man, she gonna be dog food out here, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of these men are deprived sexually, you know what I'm saying? And her handle is one sexy BBW. That's another thing too, man. These sexy BBWs, or these bad shit. Look, they not gonna want to be out there like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not gonna want to be outside right now. Oh, we outside, right? You're not gonna want to be outside in the time we coming into, because outside it's gonna be nothing but predators. All right, chicks like this gonna be scared to come out the house soon. Come, she not gonna be walking around in no supermarket trying to buy no groceries, man, by herself. Her ass gonna be in the house, you know what I'm saying? She more than likely gonna have to do Instacart. You know what I'm saying? Somebody bring that to the house. You know what I'm saying? Shit, she might even be too scared to do that. But yeah, I don't want to keep dragging this on, man. I just wanted to make that a quick lesson to hey, look, for you Eves out there, just know the situation, just know the time that we in, and just know that, hey, you gonna need protection, you know what I'm saying? You you ain't gonna be saying I'm strong and independent in the times we about to come into, when it's gonna be lawlessness and anarchy in these streets. All right, you gonna need a man, and not just any man. You gonna need a man of the Lord in these times. All right, because you know what I'm saying, a man of the Lord, he's gonna be able to guide you, instruct you in the right way. All right, teach you the fear of Yahweh Shemel Shai, so that you can also be covered. All right, but these wicked 2/3 ninjas out here, they all gonna get got. You know what I'm saying? And it's already happening. So with that, I'm gonna go ahead and close out, Lord willing. This lesson was edifying through the Rakah Kadash, called Law, Yahweh, Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Rakah Kadash. And until next time, Lord willing, Shalom to the elect, Kum Yashala, Wa Babu Ba, Shalom.